Hey guys, it's the first time I'm going to try speaking really slow in my video because there are so many thoughts in my head right now, and this is like well, genuinely, it's my 14th or 15th take at recording this. Let's start with a basic thing. I hope all of you had a great summer break, alright? And if you're wondering what is this video about and should I be even watching this ahead, let me tell you this. If you're a student, you should definitely be watching this. If you're a parent who's got kids in this online culture, you should be watching this message. And if you're a teacher, I guess this message will definitely help you. Alright? So this message links all of us together, all three parties, right? And the reason I'm try and speak slowly is because I don't want to miss out on any point that's going on in my head. So in this summer break that just went past, I visited my sister, who's also a teacher, who's got two kids, and I stayed with her for 4 days, and my parents were also there, and I witnessed what could only be described best as chaos. All right, because the kids had their schools going on. They're in an IB school, and my sister is working. She's also a teacher. My Jeej was working from home, and they all four people are working. My parents are working in the background. I'm trying to stay out of everybody's way, and I'm just observing everything over there. And it made me realize that as a teacher, when I'm teaching the kids on Zoom, and I complain about the disturbance in the background, I realize that disturbance is not intentional, right? Because it's not in your control. As teachers, we often forget that parents are having a hard time converting their home, which is supposed to be a place of peace, which is supposed to be a place of love, which has now become a school for them. It has become an office for them, right? And it's still a home at the end of the day. So parents are losing their cool, kids are losing their minds, and teachers are definitely going through a lot of problems, but it's high time that we realize that these things are not intentional. When we are teaching kids and they freeze on screen, yes, a lot of kids do it intentionally, but a lot of kids don't do it intentionally. We assume that, hey, you know what, he stays in a high posh society, he stays in a high tower, he stays in a nice locality, how can he have internet problems? Well, internet doesn't discriminate between class. All right, so no, if a person is rich, a person is middle class, a person is poor, internet problems happen with everybody, technical issues happen with everybody, domestic disturbances happen in everyone's household, right? Just because we stay in a 2 BHK, 3 BHK, 5 BHK, we assume that everybody has that kind of space at home. That's not true. So the first thing that will make this online education simpler going ahead is if we try and put ourselves in the other person's place. As teachers, we need to be more patient. Any teacher who says that an online education is the same as offline education is definitely fooling themselves. There's a lot of difference. You need to have a different approach towards an online education. Yes, the pressure is there. The system is the same. The syllabus is the same. You still have less time in hand, but you need to be more patient. You need to be more compassionate. You need to be more empathetic. You need to understand that the other person is struggling as much as you are. That's one thing. Let's keep teachers aside. Let's involve parents in this. A lot of parents get irritated when teachers ask them to supervise tests. A lot of parents get irked when teachers tell them that, listen, your child is not paying attention in my lecture. What are you doing? You're home. No, just make sure that they listen to us. They are putting off their cameras. What are you doing? You're around him. You need to instill some fear in the child. The parent immediately thinks that, why should I do your job? I already have my own household chores. I have my own office work, and now I'm supposed to do your role for you. Don't. But then don't have the same expectations from the teacher either. When your child was at school, when your child used to physically go to classes, no teacher would actually bother you with their errands. But now that the kids are not with us, they are spending more time with you guys, somewhere the teachers are rightfully expecting you to be more involved in your child's education. So it's not the teacher's fault. So a parent needs to understand that the teacher is struggling as much as you are, because you as a parent have pressurized the teacher to get results out of your kids. Either you ask the teacher to relax, to back off, to chill. The only purpose is to give knowledge to your children, and if they want it, they'll take it. If they don't want it, it's their loss. Have that attitude. Or then, be more involved in your kids' educational life, or do what the teacher is asking you to do. because a communication gap is what creates most of the issues. This is what I've observed in my past 2 years of online education. I've noticed that parents don't tend to communicate. Teachers assume that parents will understand. Parents assume that teacher samajh jayega, but that communication gap creates a lot of issues, right? And eventually in sabke beech mein, the bachcha is either taking advantage of these situations or the child is suffering. Let's come to the kids over here, because they are the ones who are suffering the most, because we are all adults, right? At the end of the day, adults know how to cope with things. We have people to talk to. Kids don't have anybody to talk to, right? Because they are in front of the screen since morning for school lectures, then they are in front of the screen until evening for tuitions, then they are in front of the screen on social media. Yes, they do play games, yes, but who can blame them? They can't go down to play, they can't go out in the open and play. There's no physical activity of any kind. They are trapped in those four walls. They have nobody to talk to. There's no privacy. They can't share their woes with anybody. A lot of kids are going through behavioral changes. They have attitude issues now. They are slipping into depression. And all parents do is they keep telling them that, listen, you have to cope with it. Ho jayega, ho jayega. Stop lying to your kids. Be realistic. Tell them that ye situation nahi jaane wala hai. It's going to be there for quite a while now. So either you learn to cope with it in the right way, and all of us do it together, or try and share your problems with me as in your parent so that I can help you out better. Children copy in online setups purely because they have to show results to parents. The day a parent tells the child, sits the child down and says, you know what, listen, I know you're going through shit. I know that online education is tough. I can't pay attention on an online meeting for more than 10 minutes. So I completely understand where you're coming from. I don't care about results. What I care about is, if there's a concept for which you have paid in school, I want you to understand that concept. All right? And if you don't understand that concept, please ask your teacher to explain it in a better way. Ask your teacher's doubt. Try and apply that concept in life, because that's the only education you're going to take with you after this pandemic. So learn a concept. If you can't put it down on paper, if you don't score marks, I'm okay with that. No child is going to perform the same way as he did during an offline setup. So stop having the same expectations. You want the same results from a child that he used to score when he was in an offline setup. That's not going to be possible, because the teaching is not the same. The syllabus is not the same. So you need to have realistic expectations from your kids. Teachers who feel that children have attitude issues online, try and understand their side. All they can do is stare at your face. All they can do is just sit in front of the screen. They are bound to feel restless. You'll have to involve them. A lot of teachers go on talking on screen. There's zero interaction with the children, and all children do is they are zoning out. Then you complain that they are not listening to me. Well, that's not fair, right? You'll have to involve them. You'll have to understand what they are going through. So have interactions. Because right now, in this phase, no matter how long this phase is, the only best friend a child can have is either his parent or the teacher. His social circle is so limited right now that he can't have the same fun that we used to have when we were in school and colleges. He can't play pranks. He can't bunk lectures. All of those good things that we used to do in school to have fun, to blow off some steam, the children can't do that anymore. So you can't really blame them. For the next 6 months minimum, or 10 months, or no matter how long this period goes on for education, I earnestly request all teachers, all parents, and all children to realize that nobody is the enemy over here. We are all in the same place. We are all in the same pandemic. The sooner we learn to adjust with each other, to coexist with each other, to take advantage of the situation in the right way, to take knowledge the right way. Have fun, have a lot of fun. But at the end of the day, as a human being, you need to evolve, right? You need to learn some skill. You need to learn some concept. So learn it the fun way. Communicate with your teachers. Don't worry about marks. Don't worry about grades. Which brings me, by the way, if you're wondering, but sir, grades, right now kids didn't have board exams, so grades are all that matter. Let me tell you this. If you're somebody from the batch of 2021 listening to this message is for you, whether you're from ICSE or ISC. If the schools are the ones giving scores to the boards, no matter how the school has scored you through, graded you throughout the year, I assure you on video, on camera, live on the internet, that the school will always give you good results. The school will never give bad results across to the boards. They will scare you. They'll tell you a lot of things. But when they pass the results onto the boards, the results will always be good because the school wants to look good. So as long as this online culture is on, trust me, results are the last thing you should worry about. What you should worry about is the kind of education you're taking with you. Because if there's a child who's only copying and scoring full marks, and that child becomes a doctor tomorrow, I would not want that kid to operate on me. Because I know that he doesn't have any knowledge. He's going to Google or he's going to YouTube the surgical procedure and then operate on me. I don't want that kind of a kid passing out. So if you're a child, try and understand that, you don't have to study for anybody else. You're studying for yourself. If you're a parent, try and understand your kid. And also one thing I've said it a lot of times to my parents who study with me over here, as in who come to my tuitions. I've told them, I'm telling this to everybody. The easiest way to take tests this year is to invest in a printer. I wish some printer company would be in collaboration with me. I could have earned some commission from them, but unfortunately that's not the case. It's just an earnest request. I know that it's easy for me to just say it, but trust me, having a printer at home during an online setup is very crucial, because every time there's a test, instead of the child looking at the paper on screen or having a digital device with him, it's better that you just take a print of the question paper, give an answer, the old school style, question paper, answer paper, take away all books, take away all devices from your child, let the child write the paper. That's the easiest way. The child will not copy in the paper. So that's an advice that I would give all teachers, all parents, all kids. Try taking hard copies and writing papers. Otherwise, if somebody from the council is listening to this video, accidentally stumbles across this video, my appeal to you is to change the exam pattern. Start testing the kids on application. Start testing the kids on their knowledge, on what they are retaining, all right, with them. I have met so many kids in this online phase who don't know basic etiquette. They don't know how to answer phone calls. They don't know how to text. They don't know how to send proper emails, formal emails. They don't know how to read instructions. They don't know how to follow instructions. The rest of the education will follow later, but these basic things need to be sorted, right? The generation today is not learning basic skills. They are only learning theoretical things on paper, which I hardly doubt is going to help them if they don't know the other quotient of it, right? So I guess I have said everything I wanted to. This is the slowest I have spoken. I tried and enunciated every word over here, so everybody understands what I'm trying to say over here. And I hope all of you have a great term ahead, and life becomes simpler for you, and all of you get through this pandemic in a sane manner. All right, and that's about it. Oh, one last thing, sorry, it just occurred to me. A lot of parents have this habit of telling the children that, the teacher complained about you, you're not managing your time well, why didn't you do the homework, why didn't you finish the homework on time, why don't you read more books, you should improve your English. Get involved, try and time out their pattern for them. Try and tell them, okay, listen, you did this, you could have done your homework in that slot. When a teacher gives homework to a child should learn up to speak and tell the teacher that, ma'am, I will not get the time to finish your homework on time because I'm occupied with my other subjects. Communication. It's all about communication, right? So that's it. I think I've run out of all the points. I hope this video helped you guys, and I hope it helps you in future. I hope this video made sense to you guys. And for those who don't know me and are still watching this, I'm Shaishav, and I hope you guys stay safe, take care, enjoy. Bye-bye.